Welcome everyone to the 2024 Cadillac CT5-V Series. Now this isn't the Blackwing, no, this is the V Series, which means it has a twin turbocharged V6 under the hood, and it has a 10-speed automatic gearbox here that's specifically tuned for more aggressive situations and driving. And I have to say, I have fallen in love with this car over the past week. It's just fantastic to drive, it's super comfortable, very versatile, and it's kind of maneuverability of a lot of different functions and features in here. And if you haven't checked out my full tour review on that, definitely go check that out. But I want to take you guys on a quick tour of the exterior before we go take this thing on a drive. Hopping outside here, we can see this gorgeous shade of Velocity Red. Really nice color on the CT5. I think it makes it stand out really well, especially against this black contrasting trim here that we have on this V Series. Very sporty, very definitive Cadillac design up top with those vertical LED daytime running lights. The full LED headlights is really nice, 19-inch wheels here with all-season tire on here. These are winter tires, not a summer tire whatsoever. I believe these are Pirelli Sato Zeros on here. So it's winter now, so they might as well put them on. It's under 35 degrees today. V's badge on the side looks really nice. Very slim side mirrors, aggressive C-pillar design. Out back here, we have the smoked out clear taillights, quad exhaust tips, and they are real actually. Very nice rumble from that V6. Really fantastic engine. I like the little contrasting under lip diffuser area. All-wheel drive on this one, of course. Rear seats are pretty decent. You have electronic door handles here. Little button to press in. Sitting behind myself is pretty easy actually. Really nice door panels, a nice solid thunk from the platform. Really nice. Carbon fiber, metal speaker grills here, leather all over the place with this contrasting copper stitching. Honestly pretty roomy back here. Headroom's a little tight, but it's not too bad. Huge drivetrain hump here. You know, this is a rear-wheel drive architecture. See this gorgeous interior as well. Let's hop up front, take this thing on a drive. And I also like this piece illuminates at night, the little Cadillac badge right here. And even this nice side sill here in aluminum illuminates with the V logo. Really nice touches and accents on this one. We also have Supercruise. We'll check that out on the highway. I have a whole bunch of drive modes before we head off. So getting into our drive modes, we have our mode selector down here. We have My Mode, we have a Tour, Sport, Track, Snow, Ice, and you'll also have your V mode, which is your My Mode, so you can always access that from the steering wheel here, and you can adjust all of these different parameters here. You have a performance traction management from all of these different levels up to race 2, down from inactive. Different engine sounds, so you can turn off the fake engine sound inside, or you can keep it aggressive on the exterior. It actually sounds really nice, so I don't really mind it too much. You can adjust your brake feel, your engine and shift parameters here. You also have your suspension and steering. So all of these really are very dramatically different from each other, I have to say. So comfort to track to sport, you really do notice a difference, especially with this magnetic ride suspension here. You can also control a few different traction settings with the traction button here, and of course you have manual mode with these nice metal paddle shifters. Really nice interior. Love the steering wheel, very sporty, very nice leather. Love the carbon fiber. Feel very driver oriented in here. Heads up display, and let's head off. Now we do have a wireless charger here that I'm just charging my phone in this centerpiece here with the actual USB-C port, just because it charges faster and I don't want it to get super hot sitting over here. And let's head off. Popping into gear is pretty easy, popping that down. Park, we also have full reverse here, gorgeous 360-degree view camera system as well. With trajectory, parking sensors, of course. We have automatic parking assist. And I love all these different angles you can get to look at your wheels up front, out back. Nice clear cameras here. I do like that, which is pretty nice. And popping into park is pretty easy with that button. You also have a neutral mode as well. But let's head off, use drive for now. I've been having an absolute blast driving the CT5-V Series around for this past week. And I'm going to start it off in touring for you guys while we head off, because this is the most comfortable daily setting that I think is a really good blend for normal usage here. Your exhaust is quieter, your steering's in comfort mode, suspension's in the softest setting, and I think it feels really nice in these settings. And even in tour mode, you get some nice exhaust notes on here. I really do like that quite a lot. That's just tour mode. This car has complete different personalities in the different drive modes, and I think that's what makes the V Series the Cadillac CT5 to get. Even if you don't want all that aggressive modes, just being able to have the ability to change your suspension settings, to have that more performance-oriented feel of the vehicle, is popping it into V, customizing it, transforms the whole CT5 personally for me, especially versus just the regular 4-cylinder one, or even the CT5 Sport with the lower output twin turbo V6. And just have a listen to those exhaust pops from this 10-speed in manual mode. And we just popped it into V mode there. I have it in my custom settings there. It just sounds incredible. Yes, there is some fake engine sound on the interior. You can turn it off, but just generally this whole powertrain and engine sound great. And all these things I'm saying here are all characteristics of this V Series over just a regular CT5. I think that's where this thing shines. It just feels like how the CT5 was meant to be at the end of the day, and not necessarily just with that 4-cylinder. There's some soul, some spirit, some passion here. Just starting off with the steering, like we have it in the heaviest setting here. You can see how sharp and direct it feels. You really have a good sense of what's going on with those two front tires up front. And if you don't want it to be like that, you can move it all the way right back down into just a comfort setting, and it's soft and easy to drive around on a daily basis. I love that versatility, and it's a little bit dead off center, but once you kind of get into it just a little bit, you kind of feel a little more of aggression in there. And that also has to go with the Magna-Ride suspension. Let me just show you real quick these differences when I go into my V mode here. So our suspension go from Tour to Sport to Track, and the difference between Tour, Track, insane. It's a very noticeable difference. It's the difference between uncomfortable and just regular comfortability of being able to soak up those bumps. So definitely want to play around with these if you have this vehicle. Sport's a good happy medium at the end of the day, I think, and that also goes for like I said, the engine sound and as well as the steering. It's just so fun to play around with, and these paddle shifters feel nice. They are metal, but I will say the gearbox, while it's a fantastic transmission in automatic mode, the paddle shifters kind of ruin the experience a little bit, and it makes me upset because I wish there wasn't such a delay between when you shift and the gear actually changes. Let's see if we can demonstrate this here. Okay, upshifts are a little quick. Downshifts can be slow. But if you do notice, when you're kind of upshifting, there's a little bit of a delay in that movement there, which is a little bit annoying. So how does Supercruise work? What is it? Supercruise essentially is a highly advanced level 2 driver assistance feature, and it works on, I think, over 200,000 miles of pre-approved highways in the United States, and I think they've driven over like 32 million miles collectively with all these different vehicles on the road that have Supercruise since it's kind of launched. So all that data has been kind of being collected by GM to kind of improve Supercruise for everyone, improve how it works, how the different functionalities are, and I think that's fantastic. And there's a lot of different of these systems on the market now. I just can't get over this exhaust sometimes. Oh, sounds gorgeous. Pop it back into tour mode for a second. We have Ford's Blue Cruise, which is pretty good. I still think this is one of my favorites though, and just how the general implementation is. Now, this is a pretty expensive package if you want to get Supercruise on the CT5. It's around $4,000-ish, I think. And I don't know, I think it might be worth it though if you're doing a lot of long road trips. So once you are on a kind of pre-approved road, it will understand that it's right to be activated. So here we are, and now it's activated. So you can see that little green bar on the top of my steering wheel here. That means Supercruise is on. You also have, oh look at this, it's doing its auto lane change now. So I have my speed set, it sees there's a slow car in front of me, and it's like, oh, you should be in a faster lane. So it's gonna move you over to the left-hand lane where it's safe for passing, and we can kind of maneuver around these vehicles. And it will actually move you back into another lane when it feels, the rightmost lanes, when it feels like you can't. So it's doing it right now, actually. It may blink a few times because the camera is on my head and it may not be able to track my eye movements, so I may have to look up just a little bit. Apologies for that. But there are infrared sensors here, as well as right here, looking at your eyes to make sure you're always looking at the road, because yes, you can take your hands off the wheel actually with this Supercruise. Of course, you always want to be attentive, but you are allowed to technically take your hands off the wheel as long as you're always looking at the road. And if you stop looking at the road, for example, I'm just going to cover up the camera here to kind of simulate this. It will start blinking at you and it'll eventually turn red saying Supercruise is unavailable. And there we go, Supercruise disengaging, take vehicle control. Now, when it blinks blue, it's kind of in that transition phase, so you want to be in control of that. And just another wonderful part of this car is the chassis. It's just fantastic. This is GM's Alpha chassis, shared with the CT4, a small CT4, as well as the CT5 and the Camaro. And it's a rear-wheel drive platform, of course, but it's just a fantastic, fantastic platform. GM has really learned from like the Germans. They've taken their engineers, they've done their kind of research and stuff and really perfected it into this car. It's just great. I love the customizability and the tuning of the steering. It feels really planted around corners. You can kind of feel that suspension load up, and I think all of this really has to go with those magnetic dampers there, which are just a piece of cake. They have a great range of kind of feel to them and adjustability that really helps you kind of to feel the full bandwidth of capabilities of this car. And yes, I may have kind of talked a little bit bad on this gearbox, but sometimes it does wonderful things and it works really well. Oh, this car is just a monster sometimes. Really impressed. Let's see. There's 60. I didn't get it on the timer, but the best time I got was 4.5 seconds, which is pretty cool. And as you can see in the automatic mode there, it sounds fantastic and crisp. Those shifts are really only capable in the automatic mode when you're in track mode. Otherwise, in manual mode, you kind of have them whenever you want, which is kind of cool. And I've just been really happy with this car over the past week, just because I wasn't expecting it to be this fun, and that's what makes it so good to me. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more coming from Allcarnews, as always, and cheers.